Wishing you a beautiful, amazing Shabbos. This Shabbos is Parshas Mishpatim, the laws of the Torah. And it's very interesting because it's well known that, I forgot where it said, I think it's in Kabbalah, that Ve'ela HaMishpatim, these are the laws, Asher Tasim Lifneim, and it actually refers to reincarnation. There's a story that there was an individual, I don't remember the exact details, but effectively, in the olden days, people would offer a large amount of money. It was a dowry. They would give their future son-in-law a large amount of money. And somebody did this, and I think it was a Sephardic Jew to Ashkenazic Jew, and then the man passed away. Or maybe it was his daughter who passed away. And so now the man had all this money, but he couldn't get married, so he wanted the money back. So according, I think, to the Sephardic rabbis, they were meant to give the money back, but according to the Ashkenazic rabbis, according to their interpretation of the law, they didn't have to. So he decided he'll go to the Arizal, the holy Ari, who is actually buried right here in Tzfat, and he asked him, can you help me out? So he said, I think you should leave it, because according to the Gilgul, according to reincarnation, what really happened was that you owed this person money from a previous lifetime. In fact, there's a similar story with the Baal Shem Tov, that once the Magid was told by the Baal Shem Tov, he was his greatest disciple, to go to a specific place, and at the place he saw a man. First it was, I think, a knight in shining armor that came, and he went to this river and he took a drink, and then actually he left, or he fell out of his pouch like a little sack of money. And then another man came, and he takes a drink, and he sees the money, and he takes the money. Then a third man comes, and the third man is like a beggar or something. He just sits down by the river, and he goes to sleep. And so then the knight realizes that his money is gone, so he goes back, and he goes and he asked the man, "Where's my money?" He says, "I don't know what you're talking about." So he thought that the man had stolen his money, and he beats him up, and he goes. So then the Maggid comes back to Baal Shem Tov, and the Baal Shem Tov said, listen, in the previous lifetime, the knight who lost his money had a business deal with the person who got the money, and he kind of scammed him. And so therefore the money went from one person to the next person. And the person that got beat up was actually the rabbi that they came to get a justice in a court case. He wasn't diligent in his job, and he allowed the money to go from one person to the other person unjustly. So what we find here is that the Torah is teaching us that everything in the universe has justice, but the type of justice it is not one that you can recognize. It's a justice that basically a person has to be very ethical in their behavior. They call it karma. Whatever we do actually is going to come back to us. If we're doing good, we're causing good. And this is really the secret of life itself, that life is not so much about material things. Life is much more about the input that we put in. Relationships are not really about so much material stuff. It's really about, if you put in love, you'll get back love. If you put in abandonment, you'll get back abandonment. Whatever you put in is what you're going to get out. And in life, that's the way it works. There's an input that creates an output, and it works on an ethical system. Whatever input is put in is the output. And in conclusion, because God is infinite, we can always grow more in our ethics and our goodness. L'chaim v'levracha.